Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Mr. Dogboat333, and welcome back to Hard 4, New Order Last Days of Europe as the Western Russian Republic with our good friend Mr. Shafarevich over here, with the old Komi flag. I asked a dev, I asked a TNO Discord, and I got a reply from a Mr. Rune, unqualified tech support, and he just went ahead and told me that we just gotta wait till 66, it seems, for the this conflict over here. So that's okay, actually. I was a little concerned for a bit, but I'm glad to know that it's nothing too urgent. We will be okay. Let's give some relief. There's been some local businesses too. That technical guidance done. Now let's go ahead and let's go for a renewed city. Rebuilding the urban areas of Russia will be necessary if we are to ensure the future of our nation, however distasteful urban life may seem to us. After the destruction of a Second World War, followed by over a decade of destructive warlordism, many cities are not only in ruins, but demographically just ruined. Not only have millions died, but many fled to the countryside as city infrastructure, providing food and other necessities, collapse. We must bring city infrastructure up to an acceptable level. Well, there we go. It looks like Placelts is going to get a pretty big boon. Which I don't know if they were thinking that when they thought of urban center, but okay. And there goes Ukraine. Insert funny joke here. With political commentary. Rumors have started to leak from our farm farms inside East Karelia, wrongly stolen from us, are from under the apocalypse that was Operation Barbarossa. It seems that the perfidious Finns have had a hard time trying to keep their ill-gotten gains, while tales from the naive and the hopeful have always leaked to us about a general Russian uprising in our lost lands. It seems that there's more truth to this gossip than there was before. The city of Murmansk, especially, discontent against the occupying Finns, have reached a boiling point. Something isn't done. It seems like Helsinki will have a full-blown insurgency on their hands. Something in their political atmosphere that they can scarcely handle. However, when a door closes for some, a window opens for others. Some leading members of the Murmansk separatist movement have graciously reached out to us for aid and assistance in their upcoming struggle against the Republic. Sir, should we consider this offer, for we do supply them and they should succeed? Who's to say that they wouldn't want to join their brothers in Russia proper? Russia will be whole again, one way or the other. Well, there we go. Getting close to getting them into our sphere, I think. Let's expand some state welfare programs while we're here. And yeah, there we go. There we are. Oh. I see what's happening now. It bugs me that you can't click the those up there and get that going. Let's go ahead and get a new Russian peasant. The Russian peasant is seen by most citizens as a dirty, uneducated, and isolated farmer who lives in poverty. For to shift into becoming a more agrarian nation, we must combat these false perceptions of the Russian peasant. We should nurture a new image for the farming life that accentuates the prosperity and independence of agrarian life. Rather than the poor, the peasant is self-sufficient. Rather than dirty, the peasant is hard-working. Rather than isolated, the peasant is land-owning, sharing in collective ownership of a commune. With hope, we shall be able to change the image of the average peasant and even encourage others to take up the farmer's lifestyle. What is it, Stardew Valley? Encouraging people to take up farming? God, I don't want to play Stardew Valley. Sugarno resigns, huh? Okay. Agriculture. Let's help with mechanization while we're here. Kennedy had sent him a pile of translated algebra papers. Americans did not stop working on algebraic number theory despite everything else going on in the world. Shafarevich was excited to read about their findings, a bit melancholy perhaps that the war ravaged Russia had not kept up. All disappointments were soon forgotten as he read the papers, sipping tea every now and then. A few developments caught the politician's eyes. It seems that the Americans Sergei Lying and John Tate had centered some of their work around what came to be known as the Tate-Lang Group. This group consisted of the elements of the Wild Chalet group of a number K field that are trivial within all completions of K. This notion had equally emerged from Shafarevich's work in the 50s with collaborators. Intriguingly, the Americans had not been able to determine if such a group was finite. This had been one of the open questions in the Russian algebraic community as well. Shafarevich had no idea if the questions were entertained in Germany. Early translation of Japanese papers did not seem to indicate much interest in question from the Far East. John Tate, Shafarevich spoke to himself. His methods were good. His papers were written elegantly, precisely. In another world where America and Russia had not been separated by catastrophe, perhaps both men could have collaborated. Shafarevich shook his head again, smiling. He wasted so much time dreaming of useless papers. Time for the president to write a few letters. Is that supposed to be a nod to them because they work together in real life? I don't know. I'm not enough of a math expert to know. I think I want to go ahead. Yeah, I want to get normal military factories at this point, so we'll try going for that. Meanwhile, industry management. Won't build much in the way of tanks, but that's okay. We're getting to the point where we will go ahead and get an increased credit rating, which ought to be nice. I have an extremely high deficit, but what are you gonna do? West African War? You have a row domino set up. You knock over the first one. What happens to the last one is that it will go over very quickly. Dwight D. Eisenhower. Africa bleeds. I have quite a lot in the way of expenditures. Deficit's not the best. I wonder. This will help with our GDP growth the most. Just finick around with this a little bit. And we'll just go with this for now. But yeah, Ethiopia's declared war on those guys. It's not nice. Or they were defeated by those guys? I'm not sure. Might be nice then. Russian peasant. Well, Ethiopia is free. Somalia is free and it's looking pretty thick. Interesting. Eritrea is around. There we go. Let's go ahead and right the wrongs. Though the Constitution is a crucial part of the Republic's democracy, it's not without flaws. While political thought and ideology flourish under its rule, violence always proliferated in the streets of Sisolsk. It also only catered to select elite of the upper classes, serving their interests before that of common folk. Thus, while blood ran through the ditches and sewers of the city, the politicians infested the legislature determined to use the lives of people as yet another ploy to gain political capital. A rearrangement is necessary. Shafarevich shall contain the excesses and the wrongs of the system. The President's party ought to have the power needed to ensure that the interests of the government aligns with those of people. Only by a harsh but fair hand shall the Republic finally move forward towards real progress. Not one halted by partisanship and conflict of ideologies, but towards a brighter tomorrow. Towards a brighter, stabler Russia. Yeah. Oh? The rebellion has begun. Our sources were correct, for once, and a general insurgency against Finnish forces has driven the Finnish defense force out of the Kola Peninsula and cleared the city of Murmansk. Glorious victory in its own right, to be sure, but it's only the beginning. Given a bloody nose, yes, but beaten? It's only the first phase of a struggle between us and them. The Russian and the Finn will come to blows once more, and they shall not be alone. The port of Murmansk has always been the first port of call for foreigners and supplies. This time Murmansk will be home to people much closer to home. Our volunteers have already been trained and equipped by us to fight alongside our brethren inside the NPR. It's these legions that will face the brunt of the Finnish army and take them out, while their numbers are ground down by the Murmanskite partisans till they have no other choice but to evacuate from their conquest. Then, and only when Helsinki is humiliated by the prying eyes of the world, shall Murmansk and East Karelia be returned to us, as it should have been all along. Send them out. The Finns are not the only ones who can play guerrilla. I like it. Okay. So we don't just declare war outright on them. We can send 4, so that's our whole army already. Oh, this is cool. I like this a lot. I'll say, have some music merged in here. Okay. Axis, Allied. It's a Fire Classic. Well. This is interesting. Wow. Seized in Karelia and the Kola Peninsula during the so-called continuation war of 1941, Finland has long desired for its people to spread east and colonize vast swaths of Russian land that they annexed after the fall of the Soviet Union. However, what the government was not counting on was the native Russian people refusing to lie down and accept the new order of things under Helsinki's Iron Front. That's the name of the mod. Seen from the Republic and former zone Murmansk People's Republic, the state has declared independence and allied with the newly unified West Russia to protect the liberty of the Russian people. For their part, the Russian state has declared its intent to protect the People's Republic and possibly intervene against the tyrannical government of Finland, fearing the Warsaw Helsinki has announced mobilization against any possible threat. It's come down to this. Oh man. We will defend and prepare an offensive line into Onega in case it does go. Oh, okay, I see what we gotta do. Okay, so let's deploy some extra auxiliary brigades. Roses are red, romance is cold. I failed my poetry unit. MNR Patriots Unite. I'm guessing that was probably supposed to be a filler that just never got there. Let's militarize the port. Arm some partisans. For military infrastructure. Just do all of that, really. We gotta support our boys. And soon. There we go. Oh. Let's get moving, boys. Some things never change. We're still gonna beat the shit out of some Finns. Let's speed up a little bit, make sure they get all nice in position. It's interesting you're doing that. Free civilian factories. Offices in Nizhny Novgorod. We'll build one there. And then we should really start building up some infrastructure. Because especially down here, these places need it. Samara did a dog shit job industrializing down here. I guess Kazan did too. It's not fair to blame Samara exclusively. God, actually, no one really did a good job developing this. Anyway, let's see if we can't surround these guys in Petsamo. Oh! Haha! Take for the wars. Most cast drop away. Communist have taken a cue and have risen up. Oh! Perkele! Oh. Oh no. I'm sorry we have to do this to you, Diablo. But it's what you fucking do. Get what you fucking deserve. Get a lot of bonuses to poverty reduction, I'm noticing. Let's preserve our way of life. In order to achieve our vision of the Russia that once was, we must limit the amount of technological and industrial innovation that we allow within our borders. We can't have new technological and industrial developments disturbing our peaceful way of life. To that end, we will now be implementing a series of restrictions on heavy industries, like steel and chemical production. Additionally, factory owners or investors wishing to build new factories or research labs will now be forced to adhere to strict zoning laws and a new permit system. It's, interesting for sure. Got some pretty bad infrastructure going. Okay, we encircled one. Oh. Oh. Oh, Finland. I'm sorry I had to do this to you. I really am. Okay, socialists are led by Stalinists. See, Free France is, I think the French are dead. The French are dead. There's no doubt in my mind the French are probably dead. Let's get this guy. Get him deployed there. These guys, you go on ahead up here. Oh! That was a pretty quick end to the Reichstag, actually. Kind of disappointed, honestly. Got my boy Seretse Kama leading Botswana. You'll love to see it. And Africa doesn't look horribly fucked. And there's Burgundian Lullaby. Preserved our way of life. Next, let's go ahead and guard nature. Komi and Russia at large have been blessed with some of Mother Earth's most beautiful and bountiful lands. The old grove forests that stretch from St. Petersburg all the way to Vladivostok, the vast plains of Eurasian steppe, the clear water of the five seas, the vast mountain ranges of Urals. These are natural wonders whose beauty and splendor are as overwhelming as they are invaluable. We cannot allow man's greed and lack of forethought to soil the natural artistry of each of these wonders represent. Laws will be drafted limiting and restricting what man can do to these most precious natural treasures. We'll send some more weapons over. Oh, there's the auto save. What's going on? Oh! Enter the Mexonyms. This is new. Nice. I like it. Went ahead and did the Kaiser Ike thing. Smyrna. I'll move these guys over here. I feel it's going to be most relevant to try to push down. Warlord insurrection in China. If we get these guys to push down and retake Karelia, I think that's the play. I could also outright invade them. Tempo of the Karelian War. Let's check this out. I want to give this, let's give us a gander, you know? Let's go ahead, let's get jet engines going while we're here. Let's also stop training these guys, get some reserve manpower. Regarding nature, and return to soil as well. Main focal point of our campaign to return to our roots is the readoption of traditional values that we have long since lost, such values like morality, discipline, work ethics, and family. Additionally, we should strive to change the people's attitudes on what a modern economy can and should be. While a nation can become economically successful through industrialization, such mass industrialization isn't necessary to provide an acceptable quality of life. All that Russia needs can be found in the fields and farms. Yeah, let's just go ahead and push. Addressing the nation in a live televised speech earlier today, the President of Finland has announced that the Russian army units have crossed the border into Finland. All the state attack, surprise Russian offensive not known, attacks by the Manx People's Republic against Finnish forces have intensified significantly in conjunction with news of strike. With the attacks, Russia has effectively declared war, and Finland launched a multi-pronged offensive deep into the heart of Onega, the Finnish buffer state set up by the insolent hill to insulate Helsinki from the Western Russian anarchy. As the Russian forces advance westwards, Russian spokesmen warned of dire consequences if Finland continues to besiege the Manx People's Republic and have ordered Helsinki to cease the war of aggression against the Russian people and recognize the separatist republic as an independent state. Russia's back with vengeance. What does this remind you guys of? Anything in particular? Got some protect anti-air stuff. Now losing trains. Uh-oh. Mr. Sviato save. Let's see if we can encircle the capital. There we go. Okay, we gotta redo all this. That's better. Finland offers a ceasefire. No. Finland's democracy continues to weaken. Well, I'm leaving you. That was the only thing she said. That is Olga pulled open her dresser, pulling out a handful of clothes and shoving them into her bag. What? Was it something I said? Is it about Yes, it is. Well, please, tell me, whatever it is I said, I'm sorry. She closed her eyes and remembered the first time she saw him. He was a cute little kid, chubbier than the rest. He was so sweet, kind, and considerate. It's hard to imagine that the kid grew up to become this. No, Ivan, you're not. You're never sorry for anything you say. She wondered when it all went wrong. What was it, when she saw him reading calm by that fascist Shafarevich, when he got in a fight with some Komi workers after calling one a savage, or when he screamed at her for daring to question his thoughts on smaller nations. Please, Olga, please, don't. She wandered down the hallway and stood in front of the door. She could hear him behind her. Please. I swear, please, I'm sorry. Olga closed her eyes and tried to push the memories of this man and to remember the chubby boy who gave her flowers. Please. She opened the door and stepped outside, not looking back. Please. Olga, please. Please, don't leave me. I'm sorry. Whatever I did, I'm sorry. Please. She closed her eyes and tried to stop herself from crying. I love you. She turned a corner. Ivan fell to his knees and wondered where it all went wrong. Hatred is the thing that poisons everything, even love. Was that Kanye West? I'm sorry, I had to make that joke. I ruined a perfectly good emotional scene description by bringing Connie into it. Let's do a wolf through the ballot. The President concedes that parliamentary institutions process are necessary towards the realization of a state that is in touch with the people's will. An opposition in his mind is a crucial manifestation of checks and balances within the democratic government. These people who disagree with the state, discontent brews under the surface. This dissent must be given a voice, a presence within the legislature. However, it needs guidance and nurturing to ensure that it would serve the people, the interest of both the state and the people. The President of the party shall allow this. The opposition can contest the election. Meanwhile, the state shall do all it can in its power to guide them to an outcome which furthers the interests of voters. Surely, with a little good word and education, the people would vote in good faith. The most desirable set of politicians. To ease the transition to a new form of democracy, the President shall also compile various opposing forces into a single party. The state does not need pointless debates, but rather useful advice. There we go. Improve relations. Yeah, we kind of fell behind here, didn't we? That's our bad. That's my bad there. Oh. Something's happening. War is hell. We could have declared war on these. I guess we could still in theory, but... we're kind of too busy with these perfidious Finns. Perfidious fascists at this point. You see, we're not fascists. We're fighting fascists right now. Look at that. It's going a little bit longer than it usually goes, just because, One, I'm gonna go to bed after this, so kind of letting it go a little bit longer. But two, I also want to go ahead and keep this going a little bit. Let's do ethical order. Be it through solidarity with labor or through the rule of the ballot, the transformation of the Russian political landscape is finished. The president has established his desired vision for the hierarchy of the nation, that of the ethical order. Now, nary a citizen of the Republic identifies with a value other than the president's own. Under the grace of Russian patriotism, compromise, and tradition, a new Russia awakens, one that will finally redeem its past and collapse. These values guide the political opposition, and its reverbs sound throughout the Republic. Through the medium of civil debate, there can be no violent dissent. In this new political order, a citizen is guaranteed his rights. He has his obligations, he has his privileges. The model citizen needs only to follow in the footsteps of the president and the party. All his concerns he needs to only voice, and the government shall deliberate. The government represents the people. Dissent is impossible. Yeah, well, that's a little border gory. All we can do is make sure that, that doesn't happen here. I'm just going to point out, if we're doing this well, how bad was the Soviet Union in our timeline? That they can't just fucking do this. I'm sure it's not as complicated as that, but it's funnier to put it like this. Oh, fuck. I thought I crushed those guys, but I guess not. So Ireland's just chilling in we don't need that many guys. God, the you guys are fine there. To collective well-being. Unions, government, and big businesses are the three pillars that hold up the economy. Through mutual cooperation and negotiations between these factions, we've created a legal framework that benefits all. How this synergy could be even more efficient than it already is. The unions and corporations often act very antagonistically towards one another, the government occasionally acting as a mediator between the two. If the government were more involved in these negotiations between the two, it's likely that these negotiations would result in far fairer and more equitable agreements. Tripartism in the public is in the public interest. Can remove them. We can at least delay them. For a little longer. Can move and take Vipori. Oh! I want to go ahead and get some railways going. kind of a issue that we should work on dealing with. We can't research nuclear weapons. Let's do resource extraction then. Let's cease our attack as well for now, until we get those railroads nice and established. Whenever that happens, I guess. Got the collective well-being done. Next, let's do compassion before materialism. There are many businesses that provide essential services or products for our nation as a whole. These are private businesses that include private hospitals, a few steel foundries we have in our country, or even a private postal service. Seem necessary for the state to function, or for the populace to survive in an adequate condition, then the government will assume responsibility for these companies. If they are in danger of collapsing or going bankrupt, the state should be there to prop them up these businesses in their time of need. Oh no. That guy's in trouble. Let's try to help him out. How are we doing? Have a couple more casualties. We're ready to get back to attacking. We could create an agency, I realize. Sure. Might as well. Let's do Russian National Party. The passionary President Shafarevich conceded was a hotbed of new, untested, and appealing ideas. His most prominent flaws was a division of its ranks, very Eurasianists, the old socialists, and monarchists, and finally, the President's very own compassionate conservatives. After the convergence, however, all these factions fused into one, hitherto unnamed entity. All the passionary, with its partisanship and ideological differences, now belong under Shafarevich's thumb. It's not a time of division. Russia needs a strong, united political force to helm its resurgence. The faction of the passionaries shall face two choices: to follow Shafarevich's scheme for unity to be cast out, to meet the fates with the liberals, socialists, and communists. All who agree shall constitute this political force, the Russian National Party. With the aid of Democrats who lead Shafarevich's side, control should not be hard to establish. There we go. Right, I need to, better agricultural methods. Oh. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and crush these guys and push them up to up to the border of St. Petersburg. I mean, heck. No. I'll be honest, we kind of gotta kick your ass so we don't look like fascists. It's sort of a PR move at this point. We're saying we're fighting fascists to cover up any image issues. You understand? I gotta say, I really do like this new mechanic. Let's move into Helsinki. And that, if I'm not mistaken, should do her. There we go. Well, there we are. We may have lost the East, but we prevailed in the West. We'll do one more focus while we wait for the peace to finish up. Let's revitalize the officer corps. The wars of unification have left their mark on our military leadership. Many brave commanders have fallen to battles. Others have been rendered lame and impotent by the shock of arms, and are unable to demonstrate the vital energy necessary to salvation of the Republic. We must promote new officers from the ranks, veterans with a proven knack for leadership and a proper devotion to Russia. Our officer corps will be revitalized by this injection of new blood. Cool. Where is now my son, beloved, in the kingdom of Manala? Sow thy copse, thou dread Tuoni. Harrow well the fields of Kalma. In other words, I think that means get fucked. We already have cores in all of this, which is very nice. When the news first broke of Russian troops... Oh, they're back to not being fascist. That's good. When news first broke of Russian troops crossing the Russo-Finnish border, as another raid for... We were first disregarded as another raid for scraps. When the Russian forces ignored the communiques sent away and poured into Finland proper, it was assumed that the small but elite Finnish army could make a turnabout and send the Russians fleeing back to Siberia. Every prediction made about Russia has turned out to be incorrect. As news of this morning has arrived, following the resignation of President Rikniemi, the newly inaugurated President Kaunu Klimola has announced on live television that Finland is faced with no other choice but to conditionally surrender to the Russian army and cede both Eastern Karelia and the Kola Peninsula. Finnish hegemony has been broken forever, and Finland has entered the darkest crisis in its history. What Bukharin couldn't do, an impoverished statelet did. You're damn right we did. We'll fucking do it again. But, for now, our attention turns to the east. Maybe not immediately, but soon. I kind of want that pretty quickly. And, yeah. There we go. Now, this is definitely going to be a longer video than usual. Which I hope you guys enjoyed. Nice little gift for you guys on this. It's going to be a Thursday when this goes up. Yeah, a nice little gift for you on Thursday. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this video, leave a like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you want to see more of this content in the future, hit the sub button for uploads weekdays as well as occasionally Saturdays. If you have any comments, feedback, concern, anything of the sort, leave it in the comment section below. I read all the comments I get and appreciate any and all feedback you might have for me. If you want to chat, play games, anything of the sort, check out my Discord. Got a couple different links in the comment section below as well if you want to check those out. Discord, which I already mentioned, Patreon, my second channel, and my Twitch. So check all those out. And, yeah. That's really about it for now, gang. Thank you as always for watching. And, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.